Welcome back, guys. Today I am going to replace a grease zerk on my 1952 Chevy 3100 Advanced Design pickup truck. Last year I discovered that one of the grease zerks was not taking grease, and I'm going to replace it today. I have this little kit that I bought on Amazon. Here's a better picture of it, with all different sizes of grease zerks, and it should be relatively easy. It only should take about a minute. And I'm gonna put this video on my Chevy pickup truck playlist. I know a lot of you come here for to see different things. I do gardening, I do chickens, or I did chickens. I don't have them this year, but I will next year again. And I do equipment repair, small engine repair. Today, well, this week I've been working on a snowblower, $25 snowblower, and I'm gonna put that next week. Did I fix it? You're gonna find out next week. But today we're gonna concentrate on this truck. I'm doing a bunch of little things in order to get it ready for the spring. I noticed that around here, I do not see a single classic truck on the road in the winter. And the reason is because there's a lot of salt on the roads. It started snowing back in November, and it's gonna snow through April. And once that salt is clear from the roads, by May, I'm gonna start seeing classic cars on the roads. And the reason you don't wanna drive a classic car or truck on the roads now is because if that salt gets underneath, it's gonna rust it out. And I don't want that for my truck. So for 6 months, it just lays here. It just stays right here on this garage. And that's gonna happen every year. So without further ado, let's go and change that grease zerk. So here it is, guys. This is on the Kingpin. And this is the one that will not take any grease. All right, so here's a Zerk, and then we have this little ball thingy here right under it. So yeah, there are two things here. So I'm gonna take out this one and then take out the Zerk off of it. And hopefully I have the right size, because this one looks very tiny, very small. And what do I have here? It's a 7/16 wrench. Yep, it wasn't tight at all. I may be able to take it off with my fingers now. Yep. There it is. Let's see what we have available that I can replace it with. All right, here it is, guys. I believe it's 2 pieces, but I could be wrong. Let's see what I have. And oh boy, wait a minute. I seem to have an identical piece. Yep, it does come in 2 pieces, but that little piece is part of this big one. And I just happen to have them. Yeah, I have all kinds of sizes here. I have the one with a 90-degree angle. That appears to be a 45-degree angle. Yep, they come in all sizes. Look at this little one. And then I have even smaller ones, like so. So one thing I could do is I could replace that top part with this little one. But why do that when you have something that looks almost identical to the original? I want to do this. It is at a 45-degree angle for a reason. If anyone's interested in this little kit, I will link it below. I got this on Amazon. I believe it was less than 10 bucks. So yeah, it's really nice to have a kit like this with all the little pieces that you may need. And let's go ahead and put this one in. It appears to have the same threads. Yep, at least it looks like it. Once I install the new one, I should be able to add some grease. Yep, they are the same threads. Now the old one I was able to take out with a 7/16 wrench. This one is a 10 millimeter. There we go. Not too tight. All right, let's go get the grease. All right, guys, so here's my grease gun. And let me tell you, having this lock and loop connection here is great. Makes my job easier. So I can just connect it. There we go, I'm connected. And now, I'm just gonna pump. Yeah, this thing was bone dry. And there it is, guys. Once you start seeing grease come out the top of the kingpin like this, yep, you know that you're done. All right, I'm gonna take a paper towel and clean around it. So the new Zerk is working. It's the first grease in 26 years, at least for this kingpin. All right, we're good here. All right, so here's the old one again. And last year I tried to put in some grease, red and tacky, and I don't see any of that here. I see part of the old, dirty old grease. So yeah, it's plugged up somewhere between here and here. So, but this kit, let me tell you, it's a lifesaver. It's good to have all different sizes and types of Zerks. I highly recommend it, especially if you're like me and you like to work on old cars. And I am sure this is good also for modern cars. Oh, and by the way, I have 80 pieces in here. And guys, I do have to mention that since I changed all the gaskets on this truck and I replaced all the fluids, I have not had a single drop of oil or grease fall on the ground. I do have to mention that I do put this under the engine, this little plastic pan, and that cloth goes behind it all the way inside. And up to today, nothing. I do this as a precaution because you never know, just in case. But so far, so good. As you can see, these are clean all the way to the back. Not a single drop of oil. And guys, I'm gonna take out the starter here in a second because I need to repair the Bendix on it. But more about that in a minute. But now I want to give a shout out to my sister Marangelie, and she lives in Las Marias, Puerto Rico. And I just found out today that she opened up her own business, a manicure and pedicure business in Las Marias. They live, my father, my stepmother and sister, they live in downtown Las Marias. And here are some of the pictures. The name of the business, by the way, is called Glamour Creations by Marangelie. So if any of you live in Las Marias or close, give her a call and get your nails and pedicures done there. Next time I go down there, I'm gonna have her do my ugly nails, my ugly toenails. That's what I told her this morning. She thought it was funny. But anyway, I'm proud of her. Definitely, I do know that she has had a passion for nails and pedicures for many, many years. And finally, she opened up her business next to my father's house. Okay, so here's her starter. And it does, sometimes when I turn it over, it does a grinding noise and it won't start. So for every 3 starts, 1 is grinding. So I need to take it off and replace the Bendix. All right, so the first thing I need to do is disconnect the negative battery cable from the battery, but I don't see a battery here. So where is the battery? Well, glad you asked. It's here, inside the cabin, right there on the floor. I need to remove those screws. All right, I had to remove a couple of screws to remove this carpet. There's a door to the battery. All right, so they're both the same color, by the way. That's the way I bought this truck. Both reds, but this is the negative side. So I need to remove the negative before removing the starter. All right, so negative battery terminal is off. Now onto the starter. Okay, so what do I need to take this starter out? Well, you need to take this nut off the top and all the wires will come off. Then you need to take that spring and this right here needs to come off as well. And two bolts on the sides of the starter. You're gonna need a 5/8 wrench. And now for the two big bolts on the side of the starter, you're gonna need a 3/4 inch wrench. Not the close part. You're not gonna be able to fit it in there. You need only the open end. And maybe a set of pliers or needle nose pliers in order to take out that pin, that hairpin. And that's it. It is relatively easy to take out, but maybe a little bit uncomfortable to get in there. 5/8 just to loosen this up. There's obviously a nut and a washer. So here's my fusible link. And then this one, that goes to the positive battery cable. All right, so that's one piece. Now to remove this hairpin. Now when you replace this pin, just put in a new one. Never reuse the old ones. And once this is out, what I have to do is move this little thing here to remove the spring. This little bracket that's attached to the spring, you see that? Make sure you don't lose it. Oh, yeah, the spring went flying, but I can find it. This one, the top one is a nut, but the bottom one is a bolt. To take off this one, it's gonna be easy. The bottom one's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but maybe not too hard. All right, so there's the nut. Now I'm gonna go under the truck and take out that bolt. See guys, if I tried to put in the open end on the bottom bolt, it won't go in. There's not enough space between the bolt and the body of the starter. That's why you need an open end. Now I can take this off without worrying about it falling on me because there's a bolt on top that's holding it up. There we go. All right, so now it's just a matter of moving it to the right to clear that bolt and just pull it up. There we go. Oh, it's heavy. And here it is, guys. This is my starter. And the goal here is to replace this bendix. It may be worn out, and that's why we have that grinding noise when I try to start it. However, let's say that I find the actual part for this, and it still grinds. What could be the other issue? The other issue, if it's not this bendix, then it's the flywheel. And in that case, if I find out that the flywheel needs to be replaced, then I will have to take out the transmission and replace that flywheel. But I'm hoping that it's just the bendix. And do I know what I'm doing by replacing this bendix? Nope, never done it. But there's always a first time. If you don't try to do something new, you're never gonna learn anything. The same for that flywheel. Okay, that starter I'm gonna fix on another video. But again, if you happen to be in Las Marias, Puerto Rico, and you need a pedicure and manicure done, don't forget to call my sister, pay her a visit, and I'm sure she'll do a great job. And I'm gonna leave her contact information on the description of this video. So with that, guys, you have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. We'll see you mañana. Bye.